Our legal analyst Joyce Hilary now joins us to break down the Stock Act, new legislation approved by Congress. Now, Joyce, take us through it. What is the Stock Act?
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, the Stock Act is a clever little acronym for Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge. All right. The purpose of this is to ban insider trading by members of Congress. And
Which you would think they would already not do.
One would think that.
Right, like why does it need to be banned? Isn't it just banned in general?
It's exactly my thought. It definitely is banned in general. However, the problem is that the SEC has not been, while they may have investigated some members of Congress, there have, to my knowledge, been no charges against members of Congress. And there are actually many reasons for this.
Well, busy on Wall Street in 2008, I'm sure.
So the problem is that, with the SEC, that these lawmakers oversee the SEC, and they're also responsible for their funding decisions. So it puts the SEC in a rather awkward position to go after these lawmakers. So if in fact we have this act passed, it would give the SEC a little, some teeth, so to speak, to go after the lawmakers.
Sure.
So do you think that will happen?
I do. Well, what's happened up until this point, excuse me, the Senate passed a version, and the House just passed their version of the Stock Act. As I'm sure you're aware, President Obama called for this in his State of the Union address this year. So it's really high up there on the agenda. And also, as Bill Rogers and I were just discussing, whom we had on earlier,
yes.
It's probably not a coincidence that this is happening in an election year.
Sure. And you know what? There has always been, and we've seen in the aftermath of the recession and the housing crisis, this almost a collusion between Wall Street and politicians in making things, making an availability of avenues for these things to happen, not necessarily breaking the law. So does this put some clamps on that, this Stock Act?
It would appear to. And another important part of this is it deals with these political intelligence firms. And these are actually firms that most Americans are not even aware exist. So one of the differences between the House version and the Senate version is that a requirement for these political intelligence firms, and these are firms that they speak with lawmakers and they gather information on behalf of their clients. Now, their clients are typically mutual funds, hedge funds, pension funds, and even wealthy individuals who want to gather information about what's going on in government. And they've kind of, because people are not aware of them, you could argue that the information that they provide does in fact allow these firms and individuals to trade on inside information.
What's amazing to me, though, is that the American public really, just as a general rule, doesn't know about this. So is that perhaps another reason the president did put it right up there at the State of the Union?
I believe so. And I think I didn't say that the House version cut the provision for these political intelligence firms to have to register, similar to a way that lobbyists have to register. So the public will be more aware of them. And it's estimated that this is approximately a $100 million business with approximately 300 firms worldwide collecting this information.
Wow.
That seems stunning to me, really.
It is.
You know what? From one perspective, it is, but from the other, information is the new currency. And when you're talking about millions, probably billions of dollars at stake, it's no wonder that those firms are making big money.
And of course, one would think that these firms would not want this information to get out because these hedge funds, the pension funds, and these individuals, they're really getting a lot of excellent information to make their investing decisions from. So,
but isn't it really about the congressmen?
Sure.
And the tips that they get?
Yes, yes. It's, you know what it is? There are these sophisticated programs that detect, or they're set up to detect your usual instances of insider trading. For example, an attorney who's privy to a merger, or an accountant who's privy to earnings of a company right before they're released.
So as an attorney yourself, this is something you have to watch out for, I would think, right?
Yeah, if I were dealing in that area of law, absolutely. But again, as the kids like to, this seems like a no-brainer. I mean, we're charged with the responsibility of being ethical, and we have a fiduciary responsibility to our clients. So really, it's a very unethical thing to do to use any of our private information we've obtained confidentially in order to have personal gain. But the argument, there's an argument out there that the information that members of Congress receive may be protected information. However,
and how do you prove that?
exactly.
That's the other.
And even if it is, they are still trading on inside information.
Right. Joyce, fascinating stuff. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we'll talk more about it the next time we have you here.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.